All right, hello again, everybody. This is John again. Today I want to do something a little different. Instead of doing a video, not trying to be Mr. PowerPoint slide guy or rip off Hambini or anyone else. Everybody knows who Hambini is. What I want to do now is kind of answer a common question I had that I had trouble finding. Again, that's kind of the goal of what I'm doing here, trying to answer some of the questions that I had now that I have the Revolt, the gravel bike, and a little more experience with it. And one of the questions I had is the speed. Like I said before, I'm not a speed demon. I'm not a racer by any means, but I'm a data guy. I'm a nerd. I know me, and I know a lot of people out there. Look at your average speed because it's a good kind of indicator of how you're doing as far as speed, fitness, things like that. It is fun to see that, and you don't want to see your numbers go down super low. So this is kind of part two of the Giant Revolt review. I talked a little bit in the first part about kind of speed, and I talked more about comfort and the features of the bike and the ride quality. So you can go back to the other video and watch that. I'll put it in a link in here once I put the video up. But what I'm going to talk about today is kind of the speed between my previous road bike and the Giant Revolt and how that worked. So what I'm going to talk about, this is a course in Louisville, Kentucky where I live. This is kind of my after work. I can't get out for a long ride, so just kind of get out. I kind of do this little red loop that you see a couple of times. It's a nice little get out after work, get some miles in, about an hour and a half. It's about 21 miles, it's a little over, about 900 feet of elevation. I've ridden it 63 rides, 63 times in 2020 and 2021 with my Contend and with my Revolt. So what I want to do is talk about, I kind of charted all that data. It was kind of interesting to me. It was a little surprising in some ways, so we'll talk about that when I get to the data. But you can see this course too, it goes through a park. Here, this part is a park where I have kind of a protected bike lane, and then this is kind of a road going to another park. This is a protected bike lane going around a small airport, and then kind of through a neighborhood, back into a park, and then kind of back through here into this area again. A few little hills, again, it's 900 feet of elevation, so you're doing a couple of hills, a couple of hills a couple of times, and a couple of hills once or twice. It's really good, and of course I live in this big pixelated area, so it's easy for me to get out to there after work, go in the garage, get the bike, go, so it's not a big deal. So to review my Contend, this is the road bike I had. I actually sold it early in the year after I got my Revolt. It's a good bike, it's comfortable. It was a great bike for me to kind of learn on and gain a lot of miles and experience on the road and build up fitness and conditioning. 2019 Giant Contend, I got it just before the pandemic in early 2020. It came with these giant Gavia tires. I will tell you they pretty much suck. You'll see it in the numbers that they suck. They are pretty stiff, weren't very comfortable. I got about 1,000 miles or so out of them, and then I went up to the Continental GP 5000s. Much better tires. Highly recommend these. I think I said in my last video I'm thinking about getting some new tires for my Revolt, and when I do, I'll probably put GP 5000s on the road tires and then keep the Gravel Kings for kind of dirt, gravel, single track, things like that. And of course my Revolt, 2020 Giant Revolt, this is what I've done a lot of reviews on lately and talked about quite a bit. Love the bike. I won't get back into that, but also, sorry, my Contend is an aluminum frame, weighs about 28 pounds. It is more of an endurance. It's not a race bike, so this is obviously not an apples to apples comparison. If you're coming from a race bike to the Revolt, you're going to see a big drop in speed probably. Again, everyone's different. Depends on how you ride, where you ride, things like that. So the tires that came on the Revolt are these Maxxis Velocita. Not great tires. I had issues with them. They actually roll pretty smoothly, and you'll see when you get to the speed here in a second. And of course now I have the Gravel King SKs. You can tell a major difference there. Obviously a lot more rolling resistance, but these, like I went yesterday, it is early December here in Louisville, Kentucky. It was a warm day yesterday, so I got out and did a little single track in addition to the road with this. They handled it great. The bike can do dirt, single track, things like that a lot better than I can. So I'm still kind of building my skills up on that. But these tires are awesome for that. And these, again, not the greatest tires, but they were good on the road. So here's the data. So Contend, this is when I first got it, kind of going older to newer. So we have the Contend, the Gavia original tires. Average speed in 7 rides, 14.886 miles per hour. Then I put the GP5000s on, 15 mile per hour, so a nice little improvement there for 22 rides. And then I got the Revolt with the Maxxis tires. I was actually kind of surprised, 15.7 in 16 rides. Now again, obviously this is not a scientific test. Different weather conditions, different times of day, different traffic. Because on my course I go through, there are some intersections. But I thought it was interesting looking at these two. There's enough data there to kind of see a trend. It is interesting too, though, to note that my personal record on that course, because of course Strava considers it kind of a course since I ride it regularly, it was actually on the contend with the GP5000s by about not quite a half a mile per hour. But again, there's so many factors there. It's probably a mix of conditioning and also road. I probably got lucky on that day and didn't get stopped as much. And then finally, the Gravel Kings, only 5 rides, because I started doing more longer rides outside of this 21 miles. Still do it on nights after work and things like that. Still kind of a good get out and get a quick ride in. But I've been doing more longer rides. It's only 13.8, but that's 5 rides. I could probably raise that a little bit, but you're definitely going to see a drop. And that's what I thought was pretty fascinating. Between the Maxxis tires, 15.7, down to the Gravel Kings, 13.8. So even alleviating that I've not got as much data on this, and it's just not the same, you can see a pretty massive drop, which I thought was pretty interesting. So like I said before in the last video, I'm going to probably go ahead and get a second set of tires next, or second set of wheels next year, and probably go with the Gravel Kings on one set of tires, and probably like a GP5000 or something more road specific. Not the Maxxis; these were pretty bad to work with. But definitely have something where I can kind of get a little more road tire with it, because the bike can definitely do good fast road with the right tires. Now obviously if you're coming, like I said before, from more of a speed bike, a race bike, a Propel or something like that, you're going to see probably a big difference. But you know, for your average person like me who just does longer distance rides and just wants to get out and do fitness, leisure rides, you're not going to see a big difference. So what the point of all this? You'll see a little bit of an increase again. The Revolt is carbon, so it's a contend aluminum frame against a Revolt carbon frame. Very different. But the whole point of this is going from a road bike to a gravel bike doesn't mean you're going to go see a huge reduction in speed just because of a different type of bike. It is possible to actually see an increase, and I think a lot of people probably will, depending on which way you're going. All right, so that's all I want to talk about. Let's make a quick little video, kind of share some data. Appreciate everyone who's commented and liked my last video on the Giant Revolt review. Had some good questions there. Try to be active in the comments. If you like this and enjoy it, I'm trying to make more content like this. This kind of answering questions that I had that no one else talked about or I was having trouble finding. So hopefully this is beneficial to someone. If it is, please like and subscribe. I'm going to try to do more videos like this. I tend to do a little more videos in the wintertime because I'm not riding as much. And I'm trying to get better at doing videos, things like this and different things. So let me know what you think of this. This is beneficial. If you have any questions, if I need to add something else to it, I'm still thinking about other kind of content that I want to add and create, and answer any questions you have. And also answer, like I said, those questions I had before I got the bike that I can help someone else out who's in the spot I was a few months ago. All right, everybody have a great day. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful Christmas holiday. If you watch this before Christmas, have a great day. Bye.